Both drivers are door to door as they head towards turn 1 and 2. They make contact. Around both of them go.
Incredible race out there tonight, drivers. Thank y'all so much for putting on such a great show for these fans. There was side-by-side action, clean, good, hard racing. Thank y'all so much for what y'all did for these fans. And give them a wave as you come down the front straightaway.
Well, look, we always do the diecast of the week.
Yes.
It's just going to be 2 for now since we don't have 3, but got some pretty diecast here. I'm going to let you go first because yours is way cooler than, well, I don't want to say way cooler, but it's got autographs on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a little more valuable because of the autographs.
Mhm.
I want to say it's a Carl Edwards diecast.
Mhm.
Didn't Carl recently get inducted into the Hall of Fame?
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
last year.
That's
I
what I
think.
thought. So awesome because it's not only signed by Carl, it's also signed by Jack Roush,
Yeah, also in the Hall of Fame.
also in the Hall of Fame. That's what I
Yeah.
was gonna say. Yeah, and so that actually, my aunt was a huge Carl Edwards fan. We used to go to Talladega every year, twice a year. They would tag, they would kind of come with us. And my dad would get pit passes from Molly Pistons because he was an automotive machinist.
Mhm.
They bought a bunch of stuff. Some years we get hot passes, some years we get cold passes. Either way, we got into the pits a lot.
Right.
And so we were able to get Carl Edwards is probably one of the nicest guys
I've
as
heard
far
that
as that.
several times.
I wasn't there for this one, but Bobby has told the story a lot of times. He was eating a sandwich and he saw that Bobby had a die cast,
Mhm.
and he was like, he put his sandwich down and was like, "Hey, I'll sign that." And I had a helmet that I got him to sign one time, and he signed it upside down, and he was like, "Oh man, I signed it upside down." I was like, "It's cool. It goes with the backflip thing." And he goes, "Yeah, it does, doesn't it?" And he's just super personable, super nice guy, and so really proud to have it in the collection. My aunt and uncle got out of collecting a few years ago, and they were like, "Well, we don't know what to get you for Christmas." I was like, "I got a closet full of diecasts back there. You can just start giving me a couple a year." And
Mhm.
so luckily, I wound up with their whole collection over the years, and it's a major part of mine now.
Yeah. It's a
Um,
very, very beautiful car. It's a car tomorrow, COT.
Yep,
Yeah.
COT, old school COT, still got the splitter,
Mhm.
got the wing and everything on it because I know they only ran the splitter for like maybe 1 or 2 years before
Yeah.
they put the full nose on there.
Right.
And the spoilers on the back. I think they
Mhm.
ran full nose and wings for 1 year, and then spoilers came back. So,
Yeah.
which I loved. I wasn't a big fan of the wing. To
Mm.
me, it got away from NASCAR
Right.
because they've always had spoilers.
The spoiler
You
was
know what
like
I'm
the
saying?
iconic
That and
look.
it
Yeah.
it didn't match the short tracks anymore. They did have a sportsman body. They called it ABC and ARP, and
Mhm.
Five Star did for a while.
Mhm.
That ran like a little wing on the back of it, but they weren't legal here.
Right.
They ran them more up north and stuff like that. So it wasn't a nationwide kind of thing to where the cars matched,
Right.
and that was disappointing. And so I'm glad they got away from the wing. Also, we I think we talked about it before, that Brad Keselowski flip at
Mhm.
Atlanta where you could literally see the wing created lift
Yeah,
and
flipped
flip
him
that
over and
car.
landed right on the halo on the wall.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the scariest wrecks I've ever seen
Yeah.
just because of how it crushed the roof in on the driver's side.
Yep.
Um, Scariest wrecks in recent history.
Yeah, for sure.
So
And you remember who dumped him?
I do. It was Carl
It
Edwards.
was Carl Edwards.
Yeah, he wore those white gloves, man, and you could see back then they didn't have the SMT data, but you could see the SMT was the white gloves.
Right.
And so yeah, but him and Brad had a thing going for like a couple years there.
Years. Yeah.
I was at the race where Brad dumped him at Talladega. I say Brad dumped him. Carl came down on Brad. Brad
Yeah.
held his line and got his first
He was
win.
winning the win. Yeah.
He,
He
I
was going to
mean,
win.
he held his line. He did the same thing that Tony Stewart did at the Coke 400 at Daytona
Mm.
when Kyle Busch blocked him 2 or 3 times.
Yep.
And
That's for a win.
it
Yep.
it's for a win, and it's also one of those things where if you go below that yellow line, back then they didn't have a if you're forced down there, you get to keep your spot rule. Back then, if you went down there, you were disqualified.
Yep.
So instead of being disqualified, they held their line, and
Yep.
if
And
you
it just
turn
caused massive
if you
wrecks.
turn yourself off my car, then that's on you.
That's
So,
on you.
but
Yeah.
I was there the year that Carl went up into the fence and watched him run across the start finish line and all that. It was pretty
Right.
crazy.
Well, I will say I really do love the variety of your collection because you have so many different drivers, and I collect only like 6 drivers,
Mhm.
and so my collection, even though it's a big collection, and I bought 3 more the other day, so
Yeah.
3 more on the way, but I only collect 6 drivers. So I like the variety you bring to it.
I more started going for like, man, that's a cool paint scheme. So
Mhm.
like, I have a Dale Earnhardt Jr. Car that when he was sponsored by the band Stained.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure I have a Michael Waltrip car that was a Hootie and the Blowfish car. I've just got some random car. I was looking in the closet today to pick a car out. I've got the Duck Dynasty Clint Boyer car.
Do you?
Yeah,
That's a
it's
cool
pretty
car.
cool.
Yeah.
Just was a big fan of Duck Dynasty.
Who wasn't?
I know. Well, when we went racing over in Monroe with Cody Brusso,
Mhm.
we actually went to the headquarters,
Gotcha.
and they had turned like a small portion of it into a gift shop. I bought a Cy teacup, a fake beard, like a Willie beard,
Mhm.
and something else from there. I think a sticker or something,
Gotcha.
and just to be able to say we went.
Yeah.
So,
That's cool.
but now we get to talk about your car.
Oh, well, I was going to say Duck Dynasty.
Yeah.
I didn't get to
Oh,
go to the building, but
yeah.
that show's back out now.
Is it?
Yeah, they re-released it, and they're all, obviously the dad passed away, Phil, but Willie is old, and
Doesn't he not have a beard anymore? He cut
he
his hair?
trimmed it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he grew his hair back out, but the beard is not what it used to be.
Yeah.
And like, I forget, what's his son's name? I don't remember his son's name, but he's married with
Isn't it
kids.
Cole?
Baby.
I thought.
He had a couple kids, but
Yeah.
anyway, they're all grown and it's weird and it's not the same. So,
Well, and I always thought it was funny. Cy was always my favorite character because he
Mhm,
was like a G-rated version of my grandpa,
mhm,
who was like the R-rated version of Cy.
uh-huh,
And so I always thought it was funny because Cy had a mismatched beard.
mhm,
And so did you ever hear why?
mm-mm.
He was shooting and his gun stock literally ripped part of his beard out because it got between like his shoulder and the
Huh.
gun.
No, I didn't
And
know
he
that.
shot and it ripped part of his beard out and it just grew. He just kept letting it grow and that's the reason it grew in crooked.
I bet you that hurt.
Oh, had to have. Had to have.
Um, but yeah, so this week I'll jump into my car real quick so we can move on. I brought the Peter Max car that you won off Whatnot to give you for me.
We have talked about
We
that car
talked about
before,
it,
yeah.
yeah, last week, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna bring that car just so people can see it. Beautiful 2000 All Star race at Charlotte, Peter Max, Goodwrench Service Plus. And a lot of people talk about this car because Dale Earnhardt was the blue collar, white knuckle, hard working man, and the Intimidator, the Man in Black, and
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he drove, a couple different colored cars,
But
but
they were never multicolored,
not multicolored. You didn't have pink, you didn't
No.
have purple,
It was
yellow.
it was either like gold or silver or
Mhm.
blue and yellow for the
Right,
Wrangler car,
right. And
So,
then even the three on it is rainbow.
yeah.
And so
Yeah.
when you think Dale Earnhardt, you do not think these colors, but it looks like somebody just threw a bunch of paint buckets at a car and made a paint scheme.
But it's still such a beautiful car.
It is a pretty car.
Have you ever seen the video of the guy talking about when they revealed that car?
I don't think so.
And so I think he was maybe a publicist or something for Dale back in the day. He goes, I've not seen a reaction like that about a Dale Earnhardt thing other than when he shaved his mustache.
Mhm.
He said, and I saw grown women cry when he shaved his mustache. He said he came walking through the garage area and a lady saw it and she was like, Dale, no.
No, that's crazy.
But,
But a very beautiful car nonetheless. And
yeah,
so again, thank you for giving it
of course.
to me.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that the only reason, like we talked about, there were several times where we would go on Whatnot and we would watch these streams because they were doing a giveaway, and if it was anything Dale Earnhardt related, it was going to you.
yeah.
And so we all kind of there for a little while. We were all getting stuff and trading stuff out. I got a Tony Stewart bobblehead,
Mhm.
so I'm
Yeah.
good.
Uh,
Oh, and you gave me a Dale Jr. Race Win Talladega car.
Yeah, we
So,
swapped.
yeah.
We swapped cars. I, luckily had one already.
Yeah.
Of that car, and that one's actually the one I have is autographed.
Really?
Yeah. And
Nice.
so I was like, you know what? I'll trade you this because
Yeah.
this is cool. I bet you were at that race too.
I probably was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we went to I missed one race from October of 03 to like the 20 teens.
Mhm.
And I want to say, I don't remember why I missed that one, but it rained and like everybody started leaving. And my dad called me and he was like, what are they doing on TV? And I was like, they say they're drying the track and they're going racing. I was like, you need to stay put.
Right.
I don't remember who won, but like it was a great finish at
Mhm.
that race.
It turned out to be a really good race, even
Yeah.
though people were like, I ain't staying for this.
Yeah, there was another one. I think the one that David Reagan won, where the two front row cars
Mhm.
finished 1-2.
1-2. Mhm.
I was at that one, and it rained, and we all stayed, and it got so cold
Mhm.
that like, oh, dude, it was miserable, but it wound up being such a good finish.
Right. It was
So,
worth every bit of
yeah,
it.
it
Yeah.
was.
Well, again, stay tuned for next week's diecast of the week, and we'll
Yep,
bring a couple more. And but anyway, Logan, we got some good racing coming up this weekend at SSR.
we do.
Um,
We're running our regular show this week.
yep.
Uh, and I mean, our regular show is a great show. So,
Mhm.
25 lap bando race, 20 lap kart races, except for Mighty Mice, Mighty Whites, we do a 12 lap
12. Yeah.
feature just because, man, little kids get wore out, you know.
Yeah. You see them wheeling them carts, and you're like, man, I know they're tired.
Well, you know, it's, you talk about the races, it's not just the races. They go out there and they practice,
Hmm.
then they go out there for their, you know, controlled practice, and they go out for their heat race, and they go out for their feature. And, you know, by the time feature times are rolling around here, it might be 8, 9 o'clock at night.
Right.
That's bedtime
That's
for
bedtime for
most
these
of
kids.
them,
Yeah.
you know, because a lot of people don't realize a lot of those kids are 4 and 5 years old. You
Right.
know, they
They're
they go
babies.
hard
They're babies.
all day,
Yeah.
and that is crash time for them.
Yeah.
So
Most kids their age are passed out on the couch with Bluey in the background.
yeah, I mean, I know when Jaden was that age, we would spend like a day out at the pool, and there was one day we came in and like she just disappeared, and I went
Mm.
and looked. She had put herself in bed. She was
Ah,
still on everything. She just went to bed because she was tired.
she was just tired.
So
Um, well, I mean, we haven't been to a racetrack in a few weeks now because of weather.
I know I'm having withdrawals.
I know Mother Nature is kicking our butt.
Yeah, you know, the April showers bring May flowers thing kind of got delayed this year. We didn't really have any rain in April.
Right,
We didn't really have a lot of rain in May.
right.
Toward the end of May,
The end of
obviously.
May, right?
But here rolling into June, it has been crazy.
Yeah, May
Um,
showers bring June humidity.
yes, yes. And it's so sad because, you know, I was picking Jaden up the other day because I have her this whole month, and it was beautiful. It was like 80 degrees, breeze was blowing. I was like, man, I wish it would stay this temp all year
Mhm.
round. And now this week it's been 90 with humidity and
Ugh.
yeah,
Yeah, I kind of want a little bit cooler than that. I love like a 70.
yeah.
70's kind of my wheelhouse.
I don't want to be greedy. So,
Yeah, true.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love like 70, 75, especially if you're outside doing stuff in the
Right,
sunlight to where it's, you know, you get that little bit of warmth from the sun.
right.
But I don't want to be greedy. I'll take 80.
Yeah, I
So,
like the bright but cool.
yeah.
Sitting in the bleachers and watching a race in that,
hmm
you can't beat it.
No, you really can't. And it's such a better view from the tower, though.
It's true. And, or the flag
Or
stand.
the flag stand. You know, I say all the time, you know, we're lucky we get the best seat in the house, and
Mhm.
they pay us to do it. So,
Right. Well, like we said, we got regular racing this weekend at SSR. Next Saturday, though, and
yeah,
we'll get more into it
yeah,
next Tuesday, or next episode.
yeah,
But we'll go ahead and tell you guys double headers for INEX divisions, Bandos and Legends.
yeah. And that's a feature only night. You
Mhm.
know, we're not running any heat races.
Mhm.
If you're, you know, we try to get out of here by 10 every night. We've run a little long on some races. We had some red flags, stuff like that. It's going to happen.
Right.
That's probably going to be the night to come out, though, if you're trying to get out a little bit earlier,
Right.
just because, you know, instead of running 8 races total, we're going to run 6.
Right.
And that is I think 8 to 12 is what we run on a normal night. And so it's going to be a great night.
Right.
We're letting the seniors and pro seniors have a week off. That was not a scheduled race, I don't think.
Right.
It's a makeup race for a rain date.
Mhm.
And worked around Mobile's schedule to make sure we're not stepping on toes, stuff
Right.
like that. So it worked out really good to have that availability.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it'll bring a little bit more of a Legends crowd, maybe even a Bando crowd too, because
Yeah, because
that's a double chance to get points.
it's double chance to get points, and it's $1,000 to win Legend race.
Right.
So that should bring out a lot of Legend drivers. I really hope so. But you know, I'm gonna send a challenge out to them. I don't think any touring Legend people or any of the other people from other areas can come down here and beat our local drivers.
No,
I just don't think so.
no.
The Bando boys have been tearing it up at Thursday Thunder.
Oh my goodness, I was fixing to get into that,
Yeah.
but they are killing it.
Mhm.
Evan Johnson won 2 nights in a row.
Yep.
Bryce Castile won
The previous
was
week.
it last week?
Yeah.
And I
And
mean,
they've run 1, 2, 3.
I'd say Cameron
almost
Mallett's been
every-
right there with them
Yeah.
too.
And they've run top 3 almost every race. And
Yeah.
that just shows the work that their parents are putting in on those cars, the caliber of drivers they are to
Mhm.
go there first races this season and
Right.
go out there and essentially be dominant on the field with
Mhm.
228 Motorsports.
I mean, they're fast. It just seems to be everywhere they go.
Yeah.
Whether they're traveling to a national event, Thursday Thunder at Atlanta or Echo Park, SSR coming in, and it's just they're unbeatable, man.
I know
And
Evan went down to I think it's Winter Nationals
mhm,
down in Florida,
mhm,
and he was fast down there. He was top 5 in most races down there, and that was his debut in Legends.
right,
So now that they've got some seat time, watch out
yeah,
because they are flying.
yeah,
And I want to give a shout out to another local racer, Cole Denton.
mm,
Got his second ARCA win, ARCA West, I think,
yes, that's correct.
win the other day.
I think it was Tri County
Tri
Raceway.
County, yeah.
Yeah,
Triangular racetrack,
mhm.
like a tiny Pocono.
It's like old Nazareth. It reminds me of like a Nazareth Speedway
hmm
back in the day.
Yep. Broke the track record.
Mhm,
Was fast won all 3 practice sessions essentially, and broke the track record, and then went out and dominated the race.
mhm.
Uh, I saw a video today. His car was on fire in Victory Lane.
Really,
The
I didn't
engine,
see that.
they just posted it today.
Oh,
The engine had like rubber buildup on the headers, and so
interesting.
yeah, it was parked there. I think he was still in it, waiting to get out. When the net was still up, and one of the crew members goes, "It's on fire!" And he's popping the hood,
Mhm.
and he got it put out very easily.
Right.
But yeah,
Dang, I did not see that.
literally set it on fire.
Yeah, another driver that's started here at SSR.
Started here in Mighty Mites.
Mhm.
Took that stepping stone. Once he got the bandos, he started kind of racing elsewhere
Right.
nationally, just to get more experience. Was good on road courses. Good, he's a good all-around driver.
Yeah.
I don't think he's had the chance to show that he's a good all-around driver yet, as far as road courses go.
Right.
But I want to say that their next race is Sonoma,
Mhm.
and I'm hoping he's in that race. I don't know if he's signed on for the full season.
Right.
At this point, I would hope he's
I mean,
signed on.
he's been to Victory Lane twice now, so
2 wins in 6 races. I mean, that's
it's pretty
pretty
good.
good average for a 15-year-old driver.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, he tore it up in Legends too when he was doing
yeah,
the Legends
he was
thing.
very dominant. Always had a good-looking race car.
Mhm.
The whole Cole Trickles
Mhm.
paint scheme. It essentially got him his name.
Right.
He went by Cole Trickle for the longest time. Now
Mhm.
he's just Cole Denton,
Mhm.
which is, I'm not gonna throw him under the bus and say his real name, but that is essentially a nickname.
That's
So,
I mean, you see a
um,
lot of drivers now who go by a nickname.
yeah.
I was listening to Door Bumper Clear last week
hmm
with Freddie Kraft and all them, and they had Cletus, whose real name is Garrett Mitchell,
Yeah.
and everybody just knows him as Cletus McFarland.
Yep.
And they were talking about I don't even remember his sidekick. The His name was Squirrel McNutt,
hmm
and like even on the NASCAR telecast, it has McNutt
Yeah.
on the ticker,
Yeah.
and I'm
It,
like, everyone's going by nicknames now.
yeah.
Butterbean, one of my favorite drivers I follow now.
Yeah.
His name's Brendan,
Well,
but
and Daryl Wallace, he's Bubba.
Bubba Wallace.
And
Yeah.
so, it's one of those things that once you kind of get that moniker, you have to stay with it.
Mhm.
And that's your brand recognition.
Mhm.
Um, and so Cole has been Cole his whole life.
Mhm.
I don't even think I referred to him by his real name whenever he was racing here.
Right.
But when he was racing here, I want to say he was like 8, 9 years old. When you would talk to that kid after the race, and you'd be like, "Hey, man, just kind of, what happened in the heat race to where it looked like you backed off?" Well, they put me in a bad spot, and I didn't want to damage my car. I knew I had a really fast car for the feature, so I just kind of backed off and I rode. And like you would think you were talking to a 45-year-old veteran that had been doing it his whole life. His racecraft and just awareness
Right.
is otherworldly for his age.
Yeah.
And now, he's almost twice that age, and now he's 15, and I can't imagine talking to him now. Just
Right.
he's with all the experience he's got now and everything he's done, that kid is on his way to big things.
Yeah.
Um,
And then, like you said, the Victory Lane. I did see the Victory Lane interview. I mean, at 15 years old, he is a seasoned veteran.
yeah,
I mean, kids nowadays go to like PR training.
yeah, he's a part of Race Face brand
Mm.
development. And the only reason I know that's because I followed him since he's raced here.
Right.
I followed him on Facebook. It's crazy. It's a small world. He's from Pascagoula. I did a little bit of service advising for the Ford dealership, and his dad actually was his service advisor when he came in there. And so that's how I got me a couple Cole Denton hero cards. He had them in the glove box. And then luckily Cole came out to a race here a couple years ago or last year,
Hmm.
and he was passing out signed hero cards. I made sure I got one of each.
Right.
And Ginger still does his hero cards now, and I
Which
think
is really cool.
yeah,
Which is
really
really
really cool.
cool.
And Ginger did a lot of stuff with the Zach Staley group whenever they came down.
Right.
So but she does great work with the
Yeah.
hero cards.
Shout out to Ginger, Shutterbug Photography.
Yeah, if you need anything done, I think she was doing a waffle the other day
Hmm.
for I don't remember if it was hero cards or she's now got like baseball cards.
Yeah, trading cards. We need to get some From the Tower trading cards.
We do.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So one you in the flag stand or up in the booth and then
Hmm.
me just yelling at children on the radio. Or getting chewed out by a parent that's not happy with the call I made.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some action shots.
Well, it's all part of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I've said the past couple of pods, I enjoy the compliments as much as I enjoy the criticism because if you ever get complacent in these jobs, that's whenever you start putting out a bad product. And I
Right.
never want to do that. I always want to be better every week. And I don't take any of it personally.
Right.
You can't. You gotta brush it off because I've been that guy.
Mhm.
I've been the guy that, and I'm gonna call myself out here, but I've been the guy that tried to drag her driver out of his car in victory lane. I've been the guy that argued with officials and got in their face, and it would. I understand that passion because I've been there, and
Right.
I understand how much work it takes to get to that point, and to feel like you got screwed out of a call.
Right.
And so I never want to be that guy that does that. Um, Understandable if you think I have, but it's never on purpose. It's never because I have anything against you. It's always just that's what I saw. That's the way I made the call, and that's how it kind
Yeah.
of goes.
You kind of have to check into work as a different person. You have to have
Yeah,
a different persona.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's kind of funny, cartoons. I
Mhm.
love cartoons. I've always watched them, even whenever I was in my 20s before I had my kid. Now I use her as an excuse. But the original Kung Fu Panda,
Mhm.
the turtle, I
Yep.
forget his name.
I don't remember.
But
Master something.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so he had a quote after he picked Poe, and it was, it's a tough call, but it's mine, and I
Mm.
made it.
Mhm.
And so I've always just kind of lived by that. There's tough calls, but it's mine to make, and I have to make them.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah. And whether it's a reward or consequences,
yeah,
it's just what it is.
yeah,
Well, I'm glad I get to be in the flag stand at Mobile. I'm glad I get to spit some words over a microphone at SSR.
yeah. It's
Um,
I just love being involved.
yeah.
I mean, we quit racing in 2014. We took a step back from full time racing,
Mhm.
and we'd done it from '06 to 14, and
Mhm.
we did it every week. The one year we didn't was 2013 when my mom got sick,
Right.
and so that year, we or 2012,
Mhm.
2012 we took a step back. 2013 we went back full time because we needed the distraction.
Right.
But that year was the only time that we weren't at a racetrack constantly. And then we built a brand new car for 2014, went out, won the championship, and Bobby was like, you know what? I just don't want a points race anymore.
Yeah.
We might do some one offs, and then we went to do a one off in Pensacola, got put in the wall, and we took a step like we haven't raced a car since then,
Right.
and that was in 2015. And so those 4 years where racing wasn't a part of my life were just kind of crazy.
Right.
I built some custom cars. Uh, had to occupy my time with stuff, and I'm really happy I get to occupy it again with racing.
Right.
We work 31 weeks a year now
Mhm.
between the two tracks.
Something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Unless they
crazy.
get rained out.
Yeah, I know. And so, but it's honestly a dream come true from being that kid that you know couldn't afford to get me into the pits with the whole rest of the crew. So me and mom would sit in the grandstands a lot of times, or I would stay at my grandpa's house and,
Right.
wouldn't even be allowed to come to the races because money. And now I get to go to every race and I don't have to pay to get in. And just, I get to share it with my daughter and
Right.
I get to bring her along to here. She doesn't like Mobile.
Right.
The tower there is a lot louder.
Yeah. A little sketchier.
A little bit. It's mainly just, the plywood floors and there being nothing up under it.
Mm.
When them late models come by, it gets loud in there.
Yeah.
And she does
And
not
it
like that.
shakes.
It does a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I've just gotten so used to the shaking that it doesn't.
You don't even
I
register
don't
now.
even feel it anymore.
Yeah.
But it's. I looked up there
Mhm.
forever as a kid, just
Mm.
watching that tower
Mhm.
and wondering what it was like to watch a race from up there.
Yeah.
And now I get to sit dead center of the pointed glass, and it's pretty incredible.
Yeah. Mine was always flagging. I always wanted to flag. I
Yeah.
even had a flag set as a kid, and
Did
my
you?
grandma made me, and I sat and turned 4 in Mobile every week until I got, like, 13. That was too cool to have a flag
Yeah.
set. You hit that age where you just, I'm not a kid no more.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then I
Get
hit
too
an
cool.
age where I was like, I really want to be a flagman. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
And so,
Honestly, I always kind of thought about it. I was like, it'd be something that would be cool. But I never saw myself as even being an official at
mm,
all. Uh, and I got lucky. My buddy Ethan was teching here and
mm,
gave me that phone call and was like, "Hey, you want to earn $75 and flag tomorrow night? We need somebody." And I was
mhm.
like, "Yeah." And I'll never forget showing up and talking to Wayne. He was like, "How long you been flagging?" I was like, "It's gonna be my first night." And
Yeah,
what?
right,
Kind of freaked out a little bit, and it's been every other Saturday night ever since coming
right.
here. So
It's one of those things that's like, when I was a kid, I would look at the flag stand, and I think it was Eddie May back in
hmm
the day as the flagman at Mobile, and Dan Spence flagged, and several people has flagged at Mobile. But as a kid, you look up, like, man, I'd love to do that. It's so cool. It's a
hmm
cool job. And then like today, I was scrolling TikTok on my lunch break at work, and there was, I don't know what racetrack, I don't know what was going on, but there was a late model race going up north somewhere, and flagman, there was a kid next to him. He had a chair. He even had a little flag stand, like a wooden
hmm
custom built flag stand. He had all his flags in a slot. And I mean, he was flagging. He even had a button down that said "Youth Track Official" on the back of it.
that's cool.
And so,
Well, and it just reminds me of like Ethan Caress
Ethan Caress, yeah,
doing it here. We even had him a shirt made, official tiny flag man or something like that.
right,
And I would. It was funny because now he's a lot busier with the bando and all that, and
right,
so, um, but when he was doing that, I would give the signal to either you or Davey, whoever was in the flag stand, and then I'd have to give the signal to him as well.
right.
And so, but he didn't have a radio, so I'm like halfway two, and you'd see him go for his
He
flag, and
gets
he'd
like,
watch you or whoever was in the flag stand, and it was
mhm,
just that warms your heart
right,
because the future of the sport's strong.
right,
These kids are going to go on, and most of them are not going to make it to the big leagues of racing.
right.
They might do a lot of short track racing and stuff like that. But we need them to be involved as officials.
Just in racing in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I hate to say it, but a lot of the officials in certain facilities around here they're got some years on them. They've
Mhm.
been doing it for 30, 40 years now, and they're aging out.
Right.
It's just part of it. It's a very strenuous job physically
Mhm.
and mentally.
Right.
And so we need that youth movement to come in.
Mhm.
Like we're lucky at Mobile. Most of the people involved now are younger.
Yeah.
Ashley's doing scoring.
Mhm.
We've got Trevor down there at Stop and Go. Um,
It's Thomas.
I know,
It's
and
Thomas.
it's Tyrone. He just always. And
We're
then
kidding, Tucker. Jeez.
he got hit by a race car. He didn't get his real name.
Yeah, I
So
give him hell every week about
I
that
know you
now.
do.
I make some kind of ladder joke every week, and you can just see it in his face.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but I mean, he it's funny because Bobby's been racing there for years,
Mhm.
and I told him I was like, somebody hit the ladder. He was like, that's never happened other
I've
than
I've never seen it.
yeah. And so the funniest part to me was when James Patrick got out and he goes, "Oh yeah, it happens sometimes." I was like, "No, it doesn't. That's
Mm.
never happened.
I was gonna
Like
say,
that was a one-off that you did. You just don't want to say it."
Mr.
But
James has been racing long enough.
well, he also, he did a lot of street stock racing and
Mhm.
he did a lot of like modifieds, I think, stuff like that. That lane model's a little bit wider.
Yeah.
And,
True.
you know, to his defense, that ladder, the wheels stick out about that far from
Yeah.
the side of the ladder. So he was
Yeah.
probably judging off the handrail,
Mhm.
not thinking about the wheel being out that far. And it just kind of, it
Yeah.
caught.
In that video, poor Tucker. It
Yeah,
was a brutal fall.
it was.
I'm
Oh, yeah.
surprised he wasn't hurt more.
And that's the reason I was like, "Hey, I need paramedics down here like immediately."
Mhm.
And but we got him, we got Whitney does an amazing job down there on the other end.
Mhm.
And so we just need more youth involved in racing
Mhm.
from the crew standpoints, from every bit of it.
Mhm.
We can't continue this amazing sport without generations coming in.
True.
And so as much as I hate to say it, it my heroes are all retiring.
Yeah.
Um, and that well earned retirement. But you see the drivers kind of phase out. You don't never think about the officiating side doing
Right.
the same thing.
Right.
Um, you know, I one of my favorite people over there is James Priceock,
Right.
and I'm gonna be super sad whenever he hangs up his headset because just his deadpan delivery of certain jokes.
Right.
The passing the grass thing he did earlier this year, dude, I laughed about that for a solid 5 minutes in the grandstands or in the tower, and it was
Right.
just, uh, these are people that I looked up to as a
Mhm.
kid, and now I get to work with them,
Right.
and I just hope that there's kids out there that look up to the officials the same way I did and want
Mhm.
to be involved in racing.
Right. And my instant my I wouldn't say like Hollywood, moment, but what was really cool is like we grew up at Mobile as
Mhm.
kids, and you heard Bill Roth on the intercom every week.
Yep.
And so I'll never forget, I had to announce one night Mr. Bill couldn't be here,
Mhm.
and then I took over after Mr. Bill, stepped away from SSR, and then he went to, he's still doing Mobile, and then he calls me, he's like, "Hey, you want to help me do a live broadcast?" And my jaw hit the floor.
Yeah.
I was like, I never thought a kid like me would never go up to do something like that.
Well, and I think to me, and you might not agree with me because it is your highlight, but I think the greatest highlight you have is that call of that Southern Super Series race
Hmm.
that was not only used all over the internet, but it was also used in the announcement
Hmm.
that I think it's Cole Butcher
Cole Butcher went to the trucks.
was
Yeah.
going to trucks and Thor Sport. They used that call.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I felt like I made it a little
Yeah.
bit. It was just a Craftsman Truck Series 15-second reel, but
But it was you.
yeah,
It was, I mean, Bill was in there too, don't get
yeah,
me wrong, but Bill has been featured everywhere. But
yeah,
that was, I feel like, the first time that you had a major break as far as announcing.
yeah. It's pretty
Um,
cool. And it's hard to be like, man, I feel like a child, but I'm 35 years old,
yeah,
but I'm getting to do something that I love.
yeah.
And
And it does make you feel like a kid. Like
yeah,
I am excited to come to the racetrack and
mhm,
spend time with my friends
mhm,
and just, see the future of the sport grow. And I think, you had I think it was Justin that was announcing with you last
yep,
time. Okay.
Justin, yep,
I'm bad with names, so I want to make sure.
yep,
But
Justin.
he was announcing with you last time, and I actually got to kind of listen a little bit between y'all going back and forth, and I got to hear you banter with somebody
Mhm,
because I couldn't really hear it at Mobile.
mhm.
Like we said, it gets loud
The
in the
tower's
tower.
louder, yeah.
But I was able to hear it, and like, man, you just gave me such old school MRN radio
Mhm.
vibes, and it brought me back to having to listen to the radio and the race and stuff like that because
Right,
back in the day, man, you didn't have TVs weren't as cheap as they are now.
right,
So we didn't have a shop TV for the longest time. We'd listen. And when we did have a shop TV, it was a little black and white TV.
right.
And so I remember watching the Kurt Busch, Ricky Craven Darlington finish on a black and white TV, like a
Really?
13-inch TV out in the shop because they were like, "Oh, it's getting down to the wire." And we turned it on just to be able to watch the end of the race.
Mhm.
And it was fading in and out, it was crackly and everything, but we got to see it.
Moving the rabbit ears around.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude, that's
yeah.
exactly what it was.
Mhm.
But, a lot of times when we were out, there wasn't phones where you could watch until you got back to the house or something or have it pulled up to where you could see replays.
Right.
You listened to MRN,
Yeah.
and that's what you did. And so to hear that and it brought back such nostalgia
Mhm.
and even the old racing games. The
Mhm.
old racing games, the MRN announcers were the ones that kind of did like most of the
The
announcing and
audio
the
for it, yeah.
broadcasting. Dude, that made me so happy when you did that. And
And that's kinda what I was basing it off of, yeah. And Justin did a really good job that night.
oh yeah, yeah,
And
for
so
sure.
I know Abe said he's planning on being here with, for the season and kinda doing a duo announcing thing, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Because it's another guy, a little bit outside of the racing realm, but he's a very good announcer.
Yeah,
And so bring him in and get him in the racing world.
I have thought about doing it, as far as just like being kind of bouncing back and forth with you and stuff,
Mhm.
but I have so much going on.
Yeah, it'd be
But
hard for you to do.
I am more of a Dale Jr.-esque announcer where I'm like, oh, we got one in the wall. It's like that is my reaction every time. So I
Oh!
know I'd blow people's eardrums out if I was.
Yeah.
I saw NASCAR put together like a reel about
Of
that
just Dale
of
Jr.
just
screaming
oh
moments. Yeah. And it, like, cuts to the next one. Yeah, I saw that today too. That
dude,
was
that
good.
was so great. It's one of my favorite things is just him. I love Dale Jr. so much more as an announcer than I ever did as a driver. He gave some of the driest, most filled interviews ever.
Right.
But as an announcer and a podcaster, he is so much more lively. I think maybe the sponsor deal being off of him
Right.
and he's just able to be himself
He's
more
just a
now.
down to earth goober.
Yeah, and so and he's just a fan.
Yeah.
Just like all of us. I think fans make the best officials and the best, announcers and
Right.
all that stuff because you have such a passion for it.
Right.
It's not just
You want to see
deadpan.
it do good
Right.
instead of tearing it apart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I feel like we do a pretty decent job at that.
Yeah.
And so,
For sure.
we're going to be promoting a lot more on the Facebook page. We life got busy. We kind of took a
Yeah.
step back from, being as involved on social media, but we're really going to ramp that up here coming forward.
Yeah.
We talked about that today,
Mhm.
and it's funny. People see us come on here once a week and talk.
Right.
We talk every day.
Every single day.
And Davey, we got our missing man Mike over there for
Yeah,
Davey.
Mr. Man chair for Davey.
Oh
Right here.
yeah, and so, but Davey is a part of that conversation still. It's
Mhm.
not like he stepped away from the friendship group. He just
Right.
stepped away from the podcast.
Yeah.
So,
He's a busy man.
oh, yeah.
I mean, we all are. He's got a lot going on, so
mhm.
very understandable.
Yeah.
And we love him either way.
Oh yeah, not throwing shade or anything
Yeah.
like that. Just trying to say that he's still here.
Right.
He's in the background, but he's still here. Yeah.
He's in spirit.
Yeah.
We just need to put a little Atlanta Braves hat right here, and it'd
You
pretty
know,
much be Davey.
you know what we need? We need one of them giant heads, like the cutouts, and we can just stick it to the chair.
Maybe we can get Matt Hillhouse to make us like a Davey cutout.
Yeah.
We can put it in the corner.
Yeah, we'll make it tiny though. We'll make it like 4'6".
They can finally be taller than
We'll
Davey.
call it Mini Davey.
Mini Davey, little Davey.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Logan was saying, guys, we're gonna ramp up the social media stuff.
Yeah. So please, I know we got some stuff in the works. We're gonna make an Instagram account.
Yep.
We're gonna redo our TikTok account.
Yep.
We're gonna, really start in on Facebook a lot more.
Yep.
I know we have been gaining followers like crazy on Facebook. Thank y'all so much for that,
Mhm.
by the way. But share with your friends. We're gonna
Right.
start posting a lot more funny stuff. You made a great thing the other day with the sprint cars.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. It was short, simple,
Appreciate it.
to the point.
It took me 2 hours.
We're figuring it out.
I was
slowly.
cooking tacos and making that video at the same
Hey,
time. But
I mean, and it's crazy because people don't realize, that was probably a 10, 15-second video.
Yep.
And it takes that long to make.
Yeah.
And so doing this has gave me a lot more respect for the people that do YouTube full time and all that stuff
Right.
because, of how much editing and how much on the back end goes into it.
yeah,
So,
and again, thanks to Davey.
yeah.
Because he, we can't stress enough of how much he did on the
Right.
back end of editing and stuff for the From the Tower videos. We went to dinner, me and Ashley went to dinner with him and his wife Riley last night, and he showed me the editing stuff, and we were at dinner for like 2.5 hours.
Really?
Yeah, and it was. I'm nervous because it's a lot.
Yeah.
But it's a challenge I'm willing to take on and to help this grow.
Yeah.
And
And
because
so-
that's all we want to do.
So,
Is help.
I'm not going to speak for you, but, we might be a little bit late getting some of these videos out, possibly. May have some Friday posts, just,
Right.
on the off chance. Just insurance safety net thing we're going to lay down here.
Right.
But not saying that you can't do it.
Right.
Just saying, we may need a little extra help and a little extra time. But
Right. It's definitely a lot more to it
yeah.
than just, throw
Well,
it together and throw it on YouTube.
And life gets on top of you.
Mhm.
We do the featured driver thing every week. I wasn't able to do a featured driver last week because I didn't realize it was Friday until like halfway through the day. And then I was like, man, I wasn't able to reach out to a parent, get any pictures.
Right.
I'm just going to kind of skip this week. I'll make it up next week. I'm going to do a featured driver this week. So I haven't picked them yet. I got to spin my wheel. I'll
Gotcha.
probably do that tonight or tomorrow night and reach out to a parent, get pictures. I've really liked doing that this year. We get a lot more away from the track photos.
Right.
Kind of see more of who the kids and the drivers are.
Away from the track. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing. It is a featured driver post, but we're trying to feature the person more than the driver.
Mhm.
You can come out here and see him as a driver. You can't see that, Faith Finney, all of her away from the track photos were either at other racetracks with family race cars or fishing.
Right.
I didn't even know the kid fished.
Right. Yeah.
You learn so much about these kids
Mhm.
and just their personalities.
Right.
There's so much more than a car on the racetrack.
Right. For sure. Well, guys, we're gonna again thank y'all for
Yeah.
everything that y'all do for us to help us share the word from the tower. Continue on, please. We still want to build the community. That's
Yes.
again is the goal of this podcast.
Yeah, we're
is
gonna
to just build our little community of racers.
Yeah, we're so be on the lookout. We're gonna be making some posts about some Q&A stuff.
Mhm.
We'd love to answer some questions that y'all have,
Yep.
whether it be about officiating, why I suck so bad. Anything that
Why
you can
can't
come
you
up
drive a race car?
with. Exactly. Just anything that you'd like answered. We're going to start doing that probably a little bit more with our guests.
Yep.
We've got some guests lined up coming up.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any questions for them, we'll kind of make some posts where you
Yep.
can ask those. We'll
Yep.
try and incorporate them in. Just big things coming.
Yeah, for sure.
For the FTT group.
The whole
So,
FTT.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks for watching another episode. We love you guys. Thank
Yep,
you for being
love
a
y'all.
part of the family, and we'll see y'all next week.
Appreciate it.
We at From the Tower want to take a second and thank all of our amazing sponsors, the two of them we have right now. The first one, OEC Workplace Solutions. They donated us a very beautiful table to do our work on, so thank you to them. Go see them for all the other office supply needs, office furniture needs. They have multiple lines of furniture and different things you need for the office setting. Make sure you reach out to them and check them out. Also, All Star Graphics, Matt Hillhouse, a racer here at SSR, does a great job with the cars on track vinyl work, stickers, shirts, t-shirts, signs, yard signs. Has everything you need to make sure all your signage needs are taken care of. Thank you to our sponsors.